Hey, everybody. Kim Danke, the Shibboleth new member fast track instructor. It is Wednesday night and we get to go over the recipe library. I'm so excited about that because it is a super cool tool to help you find maybe your old favorites that grandma made, that your mom made, and use them with your family because they'll work. So if you are in Facebook, please take a second to say hello. Maybe hit the share button for us because that's the only way that we get the word out about Shibboleth. Let me know if you're here because you're new. If you've been hanging out with me this week, let me know that. If you're here for a refresh, I love to know all kinds of things. Let me know where you're from. If you are in the Zoom room, please find your chat button and then click where it says everyone and take a second to say hello. If you are not a member, please know that you're our special guest tonight. We want you to know that we have a lifestyle that's really a management system. It's going to educate you, going to give you the tools that you need, and it's going to give you a community of people. That excites me. It's going to give you a community of people to do this with. And a lot of times that's what's missing in weight loss, wellness, and all of those things, because we are doing it by ourselves on an island. So much more fun when you do it with people. Hey, Katie, glad you're on here. Who else is on here with me in the Zoom room? Hey, Ashley. Ashley from Dallas, Georgia is over on Facebook. Awesome. Awesome. Let's see. Hey, Tara here for a refresh from Massachusetts. Awesome. And Tara, I think you're doing that Bible study with me too, right? I have a group called The Shibby Show on Facebook. If y'all want to search for The Shibby Show, I put the instructions in there, Tara, on how to find the recording from last week. Hey, Beth, glad you're here, learning everything I can. Chattanooga, we're here for a refresher. We're glad you're here. You know, refreshing is always good. See, when you've had I'll just say, I found Shibboleth when I was 49. When you've had 49 years of habits, it takes refreshing to make sure that you're still on track doing the right thing, getting all those new habits into play. Okay, awesome. Good, Tara. They finally got the recording up there. It took a minute. I don't know what happened to them this week. They shouldn't be that long in the future. Hey, Roxanne, glad you're here with us on Facebook. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to share my screen with you. We are going to go to the fast track laps. The fast track laps is the curriculum that you will use to methodically and organized way learn the lifestyle, but also learn the resources that you have available to you as a member. If you're on here and you are not a member, just know that what we teach you is what we really should have known all along. We're going to teach you how to eat in a way that controls insulin, and that not only helps you to lose weight if that is your goal, but it also can help you with many, many other health issues. Hey, Deb, I'm glad you're here. Hey, Rebecca, Elisha from Crandall, Georgia, did Shibboleth for 3 weeks 5 years ago, but I returned this week and I'm here to stay. Awesome. Glad to hear that. Glad to hear that. Yes, it is totally a lifestyle. Hey, Polly. Hey, Susie. Okay, so lap 4. I'm going to uncheck these because when you get to lap 4, they will be unchecked. Now, just as a reminder, it looks a little bit different on your phone than it does on a computer. See, on a computer, you're going to have your little list right here, but then you get this tutorial video to the right. But if you're on your phone, the tutorial video is actually underneath this list. So you might have to scroll down on the page a little bit to find that if you're wanting to watch that little tutorial video first. And what we're going to do is we're going to hover our mouse over these little tasks. You read that black pop-up box. That black pop-up box is different for every task. It tells you why you're doing the task and if there's anything special you need to know on how to complete the task. So you read the black box, then you click the link, you do it, and then you come back here and you check the box so that you'll mentally know where you are in the process of teaching yourself this. So the very first thing that we want to do is to create a grocery list in the Resources, Foods, and Recipes tab. And I should have mentioned this earlier. If you are not a member, right now we have a special for our founder's birthday, which is this month. It's $79, and that's a lifetime membership. That's not monthly, that's not annually. Currently, that would be for a lifetime. That's not the normal price. So you can go ahead and get that at shibbolethdeals.com, shibbolethdeals.com. And if you heard about Shibboleth from a friend or a coworker or a family member or an acquaintance, please put in that person's first and last name. We like to thank them. They get 5% to spend in the Shibby shop. Okay, so when you are no longer in Fast Track, do you see all these beautiful colored tabs right here? This is where you're going to access most of your things when you're not in Fast Track. So right here, when it says create a grocery list in the Resources, Foods, and Recipes tab, I've got it linked to where you directly go. But in the future, thank you, Michelle. Thank you for being on the Bible study tonight too. This right here, Resources, Foods, and Recipes, that's where you'll find your grocery lists in the future. See, Fast Track is just your education. It's just your curriculum. In the future, you'll use all the other parts, and that's what I'm here to show you. So in order to add foods to a grocery list, the grocery list must be created first. If you shop at multiple stores, this is a good time to create a grocery list for each store. Hey, Patty. Oh, thank you for putting in that link on Facebook. Thank you, Patty. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a grocery list. So this took us directly to where we want to be, but in the future, you can find this right here. So we're going to simply click right here, this green Add Grocery List button. And you can pick a date for the grocery list. And I'm going to do Ingalls today, and I'm going to click Create. And there it is. And that's all that little task was. That was done. That took like less than a minute. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to add some foods from the food library to that grocery list. Okay, so the black box says, for practice, pick any food item from the food library and add it to one of your grocery lists. Adding a food item to the grocery list can be done in two places. In the food listing, it's the last button to the right of the food listing. But once you've opened up a food item, it's the green button that looks like a list. So we're going to go ahead and click here. This is going to take us to the food library. And what I'd like for y'all to do is tell me 3 foods. Let's look up 3 foods. And I'll just take the first 3 that I see. 3 foods. Chicken. Okay, we're going to do chicken. All right, somebody else has got to say something. I'm gonna search though for chicken right there in my little search bar. All right, we got chicken and cabbage and hot dogs. Chicken, cabbage, and hot dogs. That's what we're going to do. Okay, so chicken, it's searching for chicken. So when I did a search for chicken, it's actually going to pull up everything that even just has chicken in the name of it. And I pretty much know we're probably looking for chicken breast, but when you look up chicken, there is no reason not to scan down through these items and see some new foods that you would have never thought about trying before, because we are creatures of habit. And when we go to the grocery store, a lot of times we're just throwing the same old things in there. But this is what this food library is so great for. Maybe you think, ooh, sun-dried tomato chicken sausage. Let me try that. So you could actually heart it and add it to a grocery list. And that's kind of fun. So right here at the very top, it says 2 to 8 ounces of chicken breast. And if I want to add that to the food library, my grocery list, I can click right there. I can choose Ingalls and I can click add. And there, it's added. And just to remind you what these little boxes mean, this is the weight loss meter. So chicken breast. is a -3 on the weight loss meter. I have hearted it, meaning that hang on just a second. Oh, well, I can't find it. Sorry. I've hearted it, and 616 other people have said they like it too. Well, let's kind of scroll down again and just, okay, maybe we want to get some Applegate Naturals. This is what I want to say. Maybe we've never seen what Applegate Naturals gluten-free chicken nuggets look like. Okay, so let's click there. And this will show you what a picture of that is. I'm going to give that a 5 rating. I like those. It's a snack, actually. This is a snack. Up to 7 nuggets as a snack. That's a lot of nuggets for a snack, but it is a +1 on the weight loss meter. And then if there's any description, which there's not, you could come down there and see that. So once you've opened up an item and you think, I want to eat that, there's where you do your grocery list from inside the item. So there's 2 places to add to that grocery list. Okay, so let's look up cabbage. Cabbage is a category 2 fibrous carb. So we got Aunt Nellie's sweet and sour red cabbage. There's regular cabbage. And then there's Lowell red cabbage salad and red cabbage with apple. Okay, we're going to look up cabbage. It's a -3 on the weight loss meter. It's a fibrous carb, can be used as a freebie as well. 1 cup is your portion, and then there's some description down there. So always read your description, y'all. We're going to learn so much by just reading that description. If we want to add that to our grocery list, we're going to add that right there. And then we're going to look up hot dogs. Now, this is not really a hot dog, but I want to show it's like a smoked sausage. And I know that I like it. If I just want to add it to my grocery list, I can simply just do it from right there. But these, I really enjoy these. I am a very simple eater. And I know that a lot of people, even if you like to cook, there are times where you need to do simple. These are delicious. It's a category 4 protein plus fat. You can have 1 sausage link as your approved portion. It's a -1 on the weight loss meter. And it says you can have 1 sausage link combined with a category 2. You know what I do? I put a little bit of mustard in a Olay Extreme Wellness high fiber tortilla. I wrap that turkey cheddar, that heated up turkey cheddar smoked sausage in it, and I eat that. That's what I eat. And it's a nice little thing. And then I'll have like a 1/6 of a chocolate bar for a condiment, because I didn't have any calorie condiments with that meal. And so I actually get a 1, a 2, and a little piece of chocolate to end my dinner. So I do that quite a bit. And look, these can be found. Like if I find this at Kroger, see how that number didn't go up? If I had clicked this number, like let's watch this number on Walmart. See how there's a 4 there? If I click this here, that number is going to go up. See how it changed to a 5? So if you want to show people in your area where you live that you can find certain things at these restaurants, this where to buy part is member entered data. So you can go in there and add that. And to add a new grocery store, you can just click on this add new button. Okay, so we've added things to the grocery list. So as soon as you've added things to the grocery list, you just check that box. Okay, so now we're going to familiarize ourselves with the recipe library, and we're going to add some recipes to the grocery list. So I'm actually going to go ahead and just read this one first. This is so cool. Each recipe required ingredient can be added to a grocery list with the click of a button. Once the recipe has been opened, you'll see that green list looking icon, and it's the add to grocery list button. So as we are exploring and learning about the recipe library, we're going to be popping some recipes into our grocery list. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to look at the recipe. We're going to search the recipe library for your favorites. This is a database built by our Shibboleth family. As you are exploring, please heart each recipe you think you might like to try. Hearting the recipe adds it to your personal favorites, which can be found in your My Journal tab or in the My Favorites tab in the recipe library. So we're going to go ahead and click there. And when you're looking at this recipe library page, this is the main page. And this is I'm sorry, there's a hair in my face. There is pictures. And these pictures are dynamic. What that means is that they change every single time you come back to this page. Like this little paragraph here is static. It's going to stay exactly the same, but these pictures are dynamic. They're going to change. So if you're looking at these pictures and you think, ooh, Brittany's organic blueberry muffins look really good, I might want to make those. Or maybe you say, oh, Carb Quick dinner rolls, man, they look good, I might want to make those. Jot the name of those items down so that you can look them up over in the search bar, because these won't look the same when you come back. Okay, so that's just a tip to save you from frustration in the beginning. Okay, Patty Bass says to look up cheeseburger pie, so we'll show you that. Does anybody else have any things they want to look up? So when you're looking at this page, there are, see there's my favorites. So anything that you heart in the recipe library will go right there. And if you are specifically looking for something that is a crock pot meal, okay, Sarah, we'll look and see. Cheesy spinach and chicken, Deb says, and Sarah is looking for any gluten-free baked goods. Okay, so we'll see if we can find that. We're going to click on filters. Now, Sarah, there is a gluten-free filter in the food library that will find all of the gluten-free things, but we'll look in here too. But there isn't a link right here. There's not a filter, I mean, for gluten-free stuff in the recipe library. And so, Sarah, if we don't find anything in here, you might want to ask that on the silver level group, because I'm sure there are a lot of people who will have the answer to that too. Okay, so I clicked on this filters button. If I'm cooking for 1 to 2 people, I can click that and it's going to give me anything that was tagged with cooking for 1 to 2 people. Now it's taking a second. Don't be a happy clicker. It takes a second to generate because there's a lot of data. If you're looking for things cooking for the family, you can click that one. If you want to find crock pot meals, you can cook that one. If you want to find things with just a few ingredients, you can cook that. You can click that one, and there's no bake. Okay. And Patty says there are a couple of recipes for gluten-free. Okay, so we've got this searched up for cooking for 1 to 2 people. And if that's the one that you want, and then you also want to find out what's the best, we can slide that little weight loss meter over and search that way. So there's a lot of different ways that you can search things in the food library. Once you've made a search, if you want to see which ones are best for weight loss, see this weight loss meter right here, you can click inside that box. And yeah, don't be a happy clicker. I have to tell people about their phones. As soon as they touch the phone, if it doesn't magically appear, they want to click like 5 times. And I'm like, no, if the blue line is moving at the top, it'll get there. But see how this just organized itself? -3, -3, -3. There's your -2s. So this would just, the reason I'll do it like that is because don't I want to see the things that are the best for weight loss that I might be interested in making? That's why I do that. I can always expand my options, but why not make them smaller options and be the best options before expanding? So that's why I do that way. Okay, I'm going to go back to the main page of the recipe library. Do you see how the pictures changed? The pictures changed. So jot down anything that you think looks good. Okay, so you know how if you have a cookbook is separated out by sections. You know, is this an appetizer? Is it a side meal? I mean, a side dish? Is it a main dish? And so forth. Well, we have the same thing. Over here under types, you can see it's got appetizer, breakfast, condiments, desserts, and so forth. And when you're looking at this on your phone, this is the way it's going to look on your phone. But when you're on your computer, you also get this extra view, the one that's kind of in the middle. And it says appetizer right there, and it lists out artichoke and spinach, asparagus roll up. And so what I would do is just kind of scan through and see if anything looks appealing to me. Now, when you are looking, if you even think you might want to make it, or you even think you might want to find this recipe again in the future, please go ahead and heart it, please, because it's hard to find things again if you don't remember the exact name. So it's okay. You can heart lots of things. It'll move it over into your personal favorites recipe library. It'll be easier to search there. If you end up making that and not liking it, you can unheart it and get it out of your library, okay? So we can kind of just slide down right through there and look at all the things. And eventually we'll get to a breakfast heading and you'll see all the breakfast things. So it just kind of depends on how you want to look at it. If you know that you are specifically looking for a breakfast item, you could just click breakfast right over here on this right-hand side. And then there's always going to be the recently added section. So if you are one that's always looking into the recipe library to find things, I would suggest that you come over and check out the recently added section quite often. So what we're going to do now is we are going to look up. Okay, we're going to look for, I don't know. Okay, you know what I'm going to type in, Sarah? I'm going to type in gluten-free. See if we pull up anything. Okay, there is a chocolate zucchini muffin. There's a chocolate zucchini muffin that is gluten-free, and there is a gluten-free pizza. So there's two things right there, Sarah, that have gluten-free in the name. Now that's probably it. I don't know for sure because I don't spend a lot of time just looking for gluten-free stuff. But I would for sure ask in the silver library, the silver group on Facebook, because believe me, somebody's going to know, and you're going to get a lot of other answers, and that'll be helpful. That's why your first support area is always the silver level group, because you're going to get lots of answers. Whereas if you just ask one person, like if you were just to message me and ask just me, well, first of all, I might not see it for a minute. I had somebody message me one night, I'm sitting at this restaurant. Can I have this, that, and the other? And I was thinking, I didn't see it until much later. I'm sure they were gone from the restaurant. I mean, that's the kind of thing that I've done. I have been standing in line at a luncheon. I was just learning the Shibboleth lifestyle. I had looked at the food they could have, and I typed in the silver level group, can I have black beans with beef at a restaurant or at this luncheon? And I got no. And I was like, okay, cool. While I was standing in line, I got those answers. So your quickest response is going to come from that silver level group. So there's some gluten-free things right there. Thank you. You're welcome, Sarah. Okay, let's look up cheesy spinach and chicken. Okay, it must have a different name. If you're specifically saying a recipe, Deb, it might have a different name. But what I can do is type in chicken. Then we can scan the names and see that. Let's see. Look, there's 15 pages of recipes with chicken in it. So I keep wanting to answer the question about gluten-free, but I forget, Sarah, that you were specifically asking about baked goods. Okay. So Beth says to look up the Elvis. Here's a cheesy spinach mushroom chicken. So we'll just look at that one real quick. So we've got this cheesy spinach and mushroom chicken. It's a -2 on the weight loss meter. And just to show you, you can print it. You can print it out and 3-hole punch it, put it in a binder. And then you've got all of your ingredients listed. But what I absolutely love that we have layer upon layer upon layer of educating you and leaving nothing to chance in this. Oh, good. Deb says that it's yummier than she expected. This is the one. Awesome. Well, I'm going to heart this one so that I can look into making that one. But right here, we've got 1 pound of chicken breast. And if you don't know what chicken breast is, I know you know what chicken breast is, but if you didn't know what an item is, there's the link. You can click it. You can look at the picture. You can read about it. You can find out more about it. And then it specifically just tells you, oh, this is a category 1 lean protein. Then it's talking about Italian seasoning and mushrooms and spinach and chicken broth and cream cheese, and then a cup of fat-free shredded mozzarella. It gives you the directions that are there. It'll give you serving notes. The serving notes are very handy for figuring out what to journal in your journal about that one. And then if there are any comments from people who have made this or they have questions, they'll be down below. I do recommend that you scoot down there and look at those, because when you look at those, it helps you know if you need to change something up in the cooking, or because I've done that before and cooked something and then it was too salty. And I thought, man, that was salty. So I was going to go in there. I wanted to see what I did wrong. Well, I got down here to the comments part and there was a lot of stuff written about it. I then turned it in and we got it fixed. But if you go ahead and read this down below, it'll be helpful. Now, if you want to add this to your grocery list, this right here, we're going to click this button. I'm going to choose to add it to my Ingles list. Everything that was needed for that recipe was just added to my grocery list. I think that is awesome. Okay, let's look up cheeseburger pie. Yeah, Patty, Sarah, Patty on Facebook is saying that if you type in gluten-free in the food library, a lot will come up. There's actually there's a whole special link in the food library on gluten-free. Okay, so here's cheeseburger pie. All right, it's a main dish. It's a -2 on the weight loss meter. Look, 537 people have said they liked it, and it has a 4.9 rating. And I'm going to click cheeseburger pie. We're going to have a look at that. There's a picture of it. That is from Miss Cleo Lowry. That is her picture. She took it. There's all of your ingredients. I've made this before too. And if you wanted to spice this up with a little bit of seasoning, like Mexican seasoning, you could change it to, Mexican tasting if you wanted to do that. There's the directions. There's your serving notes, and there's Cleo's name. And down below, you got all kinds of comments right there. And if you want to add all of this to your grocery list, you just click add to grocery list and add it. I was going to say something. I can't remember. Okay. Let's look up the Elvis. Just going to type in Elvis. And now the Elvis. Okay, it's breakfast. It's a 0 on the weight loss meter. Now remember, 0 was it's not going to help you, not going to hurt you. Yes, I think putting taco seasoning in that would be really good. The Elvis. Okay, it's 1 tablespoon of zero drag MCT oil, a half a cup of egg whites. Egg Whites International listed there. Half a tablespoon cinnamon powder, 1 slice of category 2 bread, half a tablespoon of peanut butter, half a banana. So this is actually going to give you the opportunity to eat some banana and peanut butter, which that is not a normal combo. So see, with some recipes, we can do some things that will help you get those tastes you like. And you're going to use Walden Farms pancake syrup, chocolate syrup, and fat-free whipped cream. This is kind of like a Bananas Foster or something. We've got the directions and it gives you the description. It's a perfect pairing, meaning, remember how I just said it doesn't follow the right combo? Typically, things that we have figured out will still work. We just call it a perfect pairing, okay? One slice is a meal. Oh, look, it's submitted by Travis Martin, our founder. And there are some comments down below. So let's say we want to add that to the list. We've added that to the list. Okay. And then let's look up. I'm going to go back to the recipe library, the main screen, and we'll find something Mexican, okay? But I want to be right here because I want to click on main dish. And there's all the main dish things listed out. But let's say in this main dish, I want to find out what's going to be -1 to -3. So I'm going to hit set. It's going to generate that list right there. And I've got a smaller list to choose from. Let's just say that list is still too big. Let's do -2 to -3 and let's hit set. There's a whole bunch of stuff right there. I think I might even just take this down to all -3 meals. There's a lot of great food right there. So you can just kind of look in there and find some things. Hold on, I'm trying to find a different way to show you something. Okay, so let's look right here in the, I'm going to put in the search bar, I'm going to type in Mexican. Patty says that the an awesome -3 meal is the basil lime grilled chicken, if y'all want to write that down. Okay, so we had a request for Mexican from Cheryl. So I typed in the word Mexican. Well, it's going to pull up everything that has the, it's either been tagged with Mexican or it's got Mexican in the name. But now what I want to do, and this did not separate it out by type, you know, so there's main dish, there's a condiment. This is always a really cool, if you got a Walmart near you, this one's always a good section to look in. 99% of the ingredients come from Walmart. It's always nice. And look, we got a lot of main dish. There's a side dish. Okay, so we got 2 pages of things that have Mexican. But you know what? I want to see what's the best of the best and who likes things the most. Let's click on this weight loss meter. So it's generated it. And now there's a couple of things that just aren't tagged with a weight loss meter. That's just because they were probably in the system before Kim Shibboleth started doing an excellent job at tagging them. So she could probably go back and tag those in the future, but they may be a few that's not tagged. So, well, we have these -3 meals. Then we've got a whole bunch of -2 meals, and then we got mostly -1 meals. Okay, so if we think, all right, I want to look at all the negatives. Which one has the most likes? Ooh, Crock-Pot Mexican Chicken has 633 likes. It's got a 4.7 rating. Let's look at that one. Okay, that looks good to me. I'm going to go ahead and heart that one. Now, see what I did? If it looks good, you think it looks good, go ahead and heart it. There's all the ingredients. And what I like is there's not a ton of ingredients there. That's awesome. There's your directions, your serving notes. And that one's been around since 2011. Look at all these notes and comments about that. So it's just kind of fun to read those. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to add that to the grocery list. Now, if anybody here likes, let's see, Patty says that the creamy burrito casserole is really good. We'll look that one up. We'll do one more. We'll do one more Mexican one for Cheryl. And there it is. It's a -1. 570 people have said they like that. It's got a 4.9 rating. I've hearted it. I just haven't made it yet. There's your ingredients and your directions, your serving notes, and all your comments. And if we want to add this to the grocery list, we can add that to the grocery list. One last thing I wanted to show. My mind is going all over the place tonight. Maybe I'll come back to it. Don't know. Okay, so now that we have looked at, we've done that, we've added some recipes to a grocery list. I'm gonna check that box. And I think that we familiarized ourselves with the recipe library. So I'm gonna check that box. Now what we're going to do is we're going to check out our created grocery lists. Each grocery list can be customized before going shopping. When a full recipe is added to the grocery list, it adds every item needed. You may already have some staples at home. When you look at your grocery list, you can edit the items you do not need to purchase at the store. Notice how each item in the grocery list is listed by category. Isn't that amazing? So we're going to click here. Now I've got it linked to take you directly to the grocery list, but in the future, when you want to get to your grocery list, you will access that through the green Resources, Foods, and Recipes button. So here's that grocery list we were working on. So I'm going to click there and look, this is so awesome. It's just another layer of learning, in my opinion. It just reminds you of all of those things that are lean proteins. It reminds you of the things that are fibers, carbs, and so forth. So what I like to do with this list is I will kind of scan it. And if I already have some things at home, because I usually have the Olay Extreme Wellness High Fiber tortillas at home, if I've already got those, I can just hit this minus button and remove it from my list, because I've already got it. And then let's say that I already have salt and pepper at home. I can remove that from my list. Okay. Let's say that you see cilantro on here and you don't like cilantro. I can remove it from my list. Cinnamon. I already have giant thing of cinnamon at home. I can remove it from my list. And then let's see. Okay, looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. I'm gonna need all those things. But let's say that we thought, oh, there's a few other things I need to add. If you click this green add grocery list, add grocery items, it'll take you back to the food library. I always add water to my list because I have left the store before without buying water. And I need it. Look at all those things that have the word water or partial word water in it. But I'm just going to come down here to water and I'm going to hit add it. So see how I came back to my grocery list and water is there. You can click the print button and print your list, and you can lay it in your buggy and check your items off as you purchase those items or put them in your cart. But I'm going to show you something really, really cool. Okay, this is on my phone. On my phone, I have a, let me see if I can get, see that little part right there? Oh, I know what's the problem. Hang on one second. Okay. See on my phone, I've got this little block right here, with all those little black icons in it. That's my Shibboleth folder. So anything on my phone that I find that I go to regularly, I save it as a favorite to my home screen, because I've learned that when people have to click around multiple times to find something, that they often consider that a barrier and they don't do it. And so when the things that I go to often, I just save it as a favorite on my home screen. So if I click on this folder and then I scroll over, I actually have a tab called My Grocery Lists. So it's going to pull up my grocery lists. there's my Ingles grocery list. The same one that we are looking at on the computer right now is also on my phone. Why do I like this so much? Because if you're like me and you have your little list and you scratch off the things as you go and you want your list to be getting smaller and smaller, if I have this list pulled up in the phone, when I have put egg whites in my buggy, I can press this little button right here and hit remove. And so basically that's like me scratching that off my list, and my little list gets smaller and smaller, and my eyes don't have to be distracted by a bunch of scratching out on my list. And so I just have it right there, and I love that. Okay, let's see. You're welcome, Cheryl. Let's see, Angelia. I have two praises. My sister desperately needed a new car. The Lord provided it today. Awesome. That's wonderful. Praise the Lord for that. Thank him so very much. My brother and sister-in-law were in need of a new apartment, and the Lord provided a rent-free apartment. Whoa. Praise the name of the Lord. Amen, Angelia. Thank you for sharing that with us. The Lord is so very, very good, and he does want to take care of us, and he will. He will take care of us. So I'm so thankful. Thank you for telling us those two praises, Angelia. All right. Do you guys have any questions about anything that we've gone over tonight? We're finishing up a little bit early. If you want to, I'll be happy to look at some other recipes. Anybody want to look at more recipes? Anybody on Facebook want to look at more recipes? Because I'll be happy to look something up. Do you have an old favorite that I can look up for you? Because we've got time. How about I show you something that there's a couple of things in here. I'll show you some of my favorites. If you click on breakfast, this recipe right here, best breakfast casserole. It is so good. It is just delicious. And if you make, you have people over for Thanksgiving and Christmas and you need something good for that morning meal, this is it. In fact, I took pictures of my dad, my stepmother, and my in-laws doing this one day after I fed this to them. If you come down here, sometimes there is a little video. This video right here happens to be me making this particular item. So if you want to watch, if there's ever a video, watch it, it might be fun. So the best breakfast casserole is delicious. The other thing I really like is this will be a good one for you, Cheryl. Oh, thank you, Karen. Cheryl, here's I'm typing in fat burning chicken enchiladas, and we'll look up some sweets. So yes, Karen, the best breakfast casserole, absolute favorite. And I eat that over a course of a few mornings, which is so good. Sometimes I'll do this. I'll have a serving for breakfast and a serving for lunch. So I'm looking at the fat burning chicken enchiladas. This is a recipe that I made my very first week in Shibboleth. It's really, really good. I was making chicken enchiladas before. The only real thing that changed was the cheese and the tortilla. Now, I don't like green chilies, so I don't add them. And I really don't need that fat-free chicken broth in there either. So I don't add it. Basically, after I read this, I went, oh, okay, this is exactly like what I used to do before. I just was using the wrong tortilla and I was using the wrong cheese. But this is really good. And then, okay, let's look up this one. This one is really good too. And I do this one I've done this one in the air fryer and in the oven. The KFC original mock chicken. This one is delicious too. And there is a video of this somewhere. I must not have put it in here. That one's good. If y'all want to write that one down, let me give a five-star rating to that one. And then let's look up some desserts for Cheryl and probably many others. So, oh, y'all, this bread pudding. Oh my goodness. This stuff is delicious, absolutely delicious. I'm gonna give that a 5-star rating. This is wonderful. You just take 5 slices of dry category 2 bread torn into little pieces, a cup of water, 1 serving of vanilla protein powder. It can be any vanilla protein powder. It has to have less than 5 grams of net carbs though. And they're making a suggestion right there, the Max Muscle. You could probably use which is a popular one that we have. 2 tablespoons of ghee butter, half a cup of sugar substitute, half a cup of Walden Farms calorie-free pancake syrup, 3/4 a cup of egg whites, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, and your 0-calorie cooking spray. My friend Jan made this for us at the beach. Oh, it was so, so good. I really want to make that at home. So that's a good sweet right there, Cheryl. There's a lot of Carb Quick things. Carb Quick is a really great, it's like your flour or Bisquick. You're welcome. Your flour or Bisquick replacement. That's what Carb Quick is. Okay. Patty is saying that this is not a sweet, but Patty, and I agree with her, turkey sausage balls. Turkey sausage balls. So I'm looking at all those sweets, but here's the thing. What I want to do, Cheryl, is that's a long list of sweets. I'm going to come down here and let's see if we have any sweets left after we set that to -2, -3. Short list, but it's a better list to choose from in the beginning. So we've got apple pie a la mode, blueberry lemon muffins, cauliflower rice pudding with cinnamon, chocolate cheesecake pudding, fake graham cracker crust, hot chocolate muffin in a mug, mighty muffin cake cookies, mocha frappuccino, protein pound cake, Shibboleth frappuccino. I've got to click on this protein pound cake. I love pound cake. Patty also says for you guys to have the fat-burning shrimp scampi. Fat-burning shrimp scampi. Protein pound cake. I'm going to make this with 1 cup of a category 1 protein powder, vanilla extract, a half a cup of cauliflower, okay, half a cup of egg whites, 2 eggs, 4 drops of stevia, a pinch of cinnamon, and a pinch of salt. Well, I've hearted this because I like pound cake, but I haven't tried it yet. So we'll have to see how that goes. I'm going to type in sausage balls. And there are 3 different sausage balls. And Patty's saying this one right here, this turkey sausage balls. And we do have some that are -1s that have a few more likes on them. So, you know, it's kind of up to you as to which ones you want to try and which ones you want to make. It doesn't mean that these others aren't any good. It just means that the other ones have been around longer, or somebody made it and took a picture of it and put it on Facebook and everybody else made it after that. So that's sometimes what happens on that one. So what last thing I'm going to show you is, and I showed this to Janet today. I'm going to click on this green resources, foods, and recipes button. And Janet was going to be in a different town that had a Kroger. Her town doesn't have a Kroger. And she says, I'm going to Kroger. Is there a way to just look up Kroger foods? And I sent her the link because there is. So I'm in this green resources, foods, and recipes button. Going to come down here. Do you see this one that says grocery store search? I'm going to click there. And then I'm going to type in Kroger. There it is. 1,081 items have been confirmed that they've been found at Kroger. Now, whether or not every single Kroger has it, we don't know. And look, people have added their personal Krogers. If you want to add your personal Kroger, look, they were very specific where that Kroger is. This is member entered data. Look at all those Krogers that have been added. That's cool. But what I did was I sent her this link, and she can kind of just scan down through here and see if she's wanting any of these things. Let's say that she's interested in looking at what the Carb Master products are. You can type in that search bar Carb Master and it'll pull up just the products that are Carb Master. Isn't that cool? And Patty's saying that the strawberry orange smoothie is good. Now, y'all, smoothies, people they'll say, oh, I make this smoothie and I put protein powder in it and I throw all this fruit in it and I throw kale in it and I throw MCT oil in it and then I'll throw a few almonds in it. And I'm like, no, that does not work. If you like smoothies, what you do is you go to the resources, recipes, and foods, and then you go to the recipe library. And then you type in smoothie. We sell a hemp powder that is really good for smoothies. There you go. There's a whole bunch of smoothies. And that would be a better smoothie because it's funny how people equate smoothie with healthy. And oh goodness, they can be so fat storing and not fat burning. So there's you some smoothies to choose from. But what Patty is saying is that the strawberry orange smoothie is a good one. Okay, so let's click there. And I'm gonna go ahead and heart that one so I can give that one a try. A cup of plain non-fat Greek yogurt, half a cup of Kroger Carb Master milk, 5 strawberries, 2 tablespoons of vanilla flavor protein powder, 1/4 cup of whole orange or 1 pack of mandarin orange Spark. Oh, cool. And Spark you can get at blowtorchfat.com. 1/4 teaspoon of stevia or Splenda to taste and 4 ice cubes. That does sound good. I like it. Now, when it says right here, Kroger Carb Master milk, if you do not have a Kroger near you, you could switch that out for fat-free Fairlife milk, okay? Now, most of the time you can make those swaps. Every once in a while in the food library, something will say must only be made with Kroger Carb Master. Reason being is they're slightly different too. And it just depends on that particular item. See, what you've got your hands on is you have your hands on all the answers. All the work has been done for you. And I call it, I never have to wonder and wander in the store anymore because I just look at my resources and they're there. I love it. Yay. Thank you, Patty, for putting in blowtorchfat.com. Let's see, Beth, what is the difference between hemp hearts and hemp flakes and which is the best? Okay, so hemp hearts are a category 6 superfood. And a superfood has water in it, protein, fat, and carbs. It's got all of that in it. Hemp flakes are a defatted hemp heart. So if you've taken something that, let's forget the water, but you've taken something that's got protein, fat, and carbs in it, fibrous carbs specifically, and you defat it, you're just left with the protein and the carbs. So hemp hearts are a superfood. Hemp flakes are a category 1 and 2 lean protein. So hemp flakes are a defatted hemp heart. So hemp flakes are better for weight loss. Hemp hearts are better for wellness. But let's look at this in the context of using these. Let's take a range from 0 to 10. If you were looking for hemp hearts would be a 10 on a wellness range, and hemp flakes would be like an 8 on a wellness range. They're still both pretty high, right? But then if you look at the weight loss range, hemp flakes are going to be a 10 on the weight loss range, where hemp hearts would be like an 8 on the weight loss range. So again, still good. Now, they can be used for different reasons. You would not use them for the same reason, because a category 6 superfood, you wouldn't combine that with a fruit by itself, and you would, or with a fruit, and you wouldn't combine that with energy carbs or protein plus fat. So your hemp hearts could technically be eaten by themselves if you wanted to, but you can add them to a salad. So that's what I've done before. So I'll take a fibrous carb salad, a nice little base of spinach. I'll cut up some cucumbers and some beautiful colored bell peppers because I don't like the green ones. I cut up the red, orange, and yellow ones. And then I will take about 2 to 3 tablespoons of the hemp hearts and sprinkle that on there. And it's my protein source. It's my protein source. So I've done that, Beth. Hemp flakes, since they're a 1 and a 2, sometimes you'll read in the food library, if you would like to improve the weight loss meter on this particular cereal, add some hemp flakes. And it's just saying that you're going to be getting some more lean protein and fibrous carbs with that. Hemp flakes are often used when people want to eat maybe some berries in some yogurt. Well, 1 and 5 isn't an approved combination. But if you add the hemp flakes to it, it would give you the fibrous carbs that you need in order to make that a 1 + 2 + 5. So that would be a lean protein, a fibrous carb. The lean protein would be the hemp flakes, and the fibrous carb would be the hemp flakes. But also in that would be like an Oikos 000 yogurt would be a category 1. And then you could add your fruit to that. Now, Beth, on Friday night, I'm going to be showing y'all how to use the video, how to search for things in the video library. And one of the things that we search for is hemp, because in April of 2020, Travis did a wonderful video on hemp hearts and hemp flakes for weight loss. And if you're interested, you can go ahead and look for that. Just click on the yellow videos and printables, videos and documents, so the yellow tab. And in the search bar at the top, type in hemp, and it'll be the one that says phase 2, and it's got a picture of Travis in there. So that would be a really good one, Beth. You can go ahead and watch that if you want to. All right. Any other nutrition questions while we're here? Otherwise, we're going to wrap up. Well, if you have been listening to us tonight, just know that first class is always free. And if you are not a member, we would love for you to get a membership at shibbolethdeals.com. You're welcome, Beth. shibbolethdeals.com. It is only $79 for a lifetime membership. You're welcome, Sarah. I am so excited to share this information with everybody because it has really improved my life because I now know what to do. You're welcome, Patty. I'm glad you had fun. That's awesome. That's awesome. And we give glory to him. See that guy right there? All right. Good night, everybody.